everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad to see you and so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I ask you every single day. And it's so important because we are growing a tribe. And since we are growing a tribe, I have to ask you and remind you, if you hadn't subscribed, to go right down here in your settings, look around, find that subscribe button and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And I have been popping in. Invictus is coming up soon. So I'm going to be popping in all of the time. So you need that notification bell sitting on ready because I'm going to pop in. And also give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, that algorithm that drags me up and down these internet streets with no shame. It has no shame. Also, I just want to say thank you to all of the people who watch the commercials, who sees that skip button and do not go for it. I'm telling you, you are supporting the channel, and thank you for supporting the channel. It means everything. It really does, and it really, really helps. Also, right about here, that's a join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel, this little channel, to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, our super thanks button is right over there. And all donations to the channel is always, always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all. Something is going on. I want to talk about this. Something is really going on weird with YouTube because I know I saw a couple of people who had left me super thanks. And then when I went back to get the names, they had disappeared. So if you left me a super thanks and I didn't give you a shout out, please hit me up in the comments because I never, ever want to not shout someone out and show them how much I appreciate their support of my channel by missing a shout out. That is one of my fears, that y'all would leave me a super thanks and I miss it and I would not acknowledge and thank you for it. So if somehow YouTube has eaten it up in the comments, because I cannot find the super thanks from today, and I think I got all the ones from the pop-up the other day. But if I somehow miss you, please hit me up because it is definitely not something that is my intentions on doing, because I could have sworn that I saw Joan Garcia had left a super thanks, and now I can't go back and find it. So, and it might be someone else too. So if you know, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, and I don't know why I can't find it. Maybe it has something to do with me. But if you left me a super thanks and I did not give you a shout out, please, 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 please hit me up in the comments because I never want to be like that. I don't want to be disrespectful because y'all mean everything to me. And when you support this channel, I want to make sure you are properly thanked for doing it. All right. With all that said, let's get to the read, y'all, because y'all know it is a lot as usual. Because y'all know I don't do nothing but dig around in these internet streets. And so, since I don't do nothing but dig around in these internet streets, y'all know what I do when I put the read together. I hit these internet streets, and that's what I've been doing all day today. Yes, I've been in these streets trying to figure out what's going on. What are the squatties talking about on all the platforms? I have been making my rounds. I was on Blue Sky. I was on, let's see, I kind of went in TikTok a little bit. Did not spend a whole lot of time on TikTok because I had kind of a busy day, and I usually like to hit the social media platforms that I can share with y'all. So I didn't go in TikTok that very much. I went to Instagram. I went over there to see what the squatters are talking about over there. And boy, they still dragging Kate. Ooh, ooh. I mean, they have been dragging Kate here lately. She is absolutely has been the focus of the squatties for several days now. And they don't seem like they're tired of it, or they are planning on letting up on it, because she keeps on coming out with all this nonsense, trying to rebrand herself. And she's not doing a very good job because we know who she is. And so, else are they talking about? We have some news from the charity that Megan took up, during the fires in California. They're talking about that a lot. Excitement about the Invictus, it's building. It's building. It's like a roller coaster. You know how you be going up to the top, tick, 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 tick. It's like that. It is building. I'm telling you, we are getting more and more excited about Invictus, and I am seeing it more and more on my timeline. That the squatters are really starting to anticipate Invictus. And it's just a few other things, and we're going to talk about them. But the streets are not hot, but they're busy. And so we have a lot to talk about, but nothing really, really, really hot, except the only thing that's really, really been consistent on these internet streets is the Dragon of Kate. And then after I left Instagram, I went to X, formerly known as Twitter. And I'm telling you, it is so hard to be on X, formerly known as Twitter now, because it's as if Elon Musk has taken it over. My timeline, he is constantly in it. And a lot of his old right wing nonsense is as if they're pumping out that kind of information into the ethos in order to try to get people to go along with their nonsense. And you cannot enjoy what you came there for. For me, is to see what the squatties are talking about, to talk back and forth with the squatties, and maybe say something slick in the mouth with a troll. That's it. I don't come there for all that. And it is really, really starting to get bad. And it's so hard to stay in there. So I'm probably going to close my whole account down. I'm just saying. But with all that said, let's get to the read. But it is like that. We are in a whole new world. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put this up. We starting with this, and I just wanted to put this up because I just wanted to show y'all that the Daily Mail is on its BS as usual. Yes, look what they got on here. And they're still trying to get some mileage out of that Vanity Fair article. And we all know that it did not hit the way they thought it would hit. And they have been trying to promote it at every turn. I have never saw an article written about so much in my life. And they have not been able to get any traction out of it. I even saw that old Katie Nichols. Well, we talked about that on a past podcast where she was on Entertainment Tonight, and people went into Entertainment Tonight's post about it and just absolutely aired her out and let them know who they were actually dealing with. Someone who was involved in a phone hacking case, that her name was all up in there. And it is alleged that she bought stories from private investigators who was involved in all this nonsense. And they were just posting the receipts, the squatties was. And so I see now that in the Sunday Daily Fair, she said that she has battled cancer. I didn't read the article or anything like that, but all I can say about that is this: for her to have battled cancer, and it goes the same for Kate. To me, that would be a life changing event. I would be trying to get my life in order. I would not be in these streets still pursuing a woman who has done nothing to me. She initiated this Vanity Fair hit piece. Even Camilla Tominey on Australian television called it what it was, a hit piece. What is a hit piece? A hit piece is something that is made up nonsense, lies, smears in order to get the maximum amount of damage to someone's reputation. So that's exactly what it is. And Camilla Tominey cop to it on Australian television. That's all this was. And they really, really thought that they were going to drop it during the same time Megan's new television show with Love Megan was going to come out. And see, that would just put it into the stratosphere because it would be piggybacking off of her success of her Netflix cooking show. They had it all coordinated, they had it all planned out, all mapped out. And what happened? The California fires happened. And Megan, being the kind, loving person that she is and considerate person she is, she postponed her premiere of her show. And looky what we saw. We saw the plan laid all out. This was what they were intending on doing. And look at this. This just happened today, February the 2nd. They still trying to peddle this nonsense about Vanity Fair. And we all know Katie Nichols is right over there. She's one of the associate editors, I think, at Vanity Fair. So her hands are so dirty, but yet and still she wants to try to garner some kind of sympathy and sharing her diagnosis. Now, I have no idea if she had cancer, or if she's still having cancer, or what's going on with her. I did not read the article because I didn't want to involve myself in that. But my point is this: if she had cancer, that is such a life altering thing to happen to someone. Why hadn't your life been altered? Why are you still on the BS? That's what I'm saying. And that's the same thing with Kate. Why is she still on the BS? If she has had cancer, why are you still on that same old BS about a woman who pays you no attention? And Katie Nichols can lie all she wants to, but she is clearly behind a lot of this. And I also believe Tina Brown as well. Because anytime you said Vanity Fair, I think Vanity Fair is owned by someone who is British. I do. I think it is. And this is nothing but a hit piece, and it is known as a hit piece. And what is so delicious to me is that they haven't got what they wanted out of it. It did not hit the way they thought it was going to hit. And then when it didn't have the opportunity to piggyback on Megan's successful cooking show, then it really didn't hit. And all it did was expose them for who and what they are and what the whole plan was all about. I'm just saying. So yes, it says Daily Mail US planning it. I didn't even know they still had a Daily Mail US. I think it's probably about two, three people because we got reports maybe a year or so ago that they were shutting that down. So maybe it's done over in the UK, but then they list it as the Daily Mail UK. Who knows what kind of business those folks are and how they're handling their business over there. But it was a story that they shut down pretty much shut down the U.S. portion of the Daily Mail. But this is what they're saying it is, the U.S. Daily Mail, and this says how America turned its back on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle after Vanity Fair recent expose. They didn't even know how to spell expose. I just had to figure out what they were talking about because that's expose. This exactly is what is wrong with these people. Who is working over there? I'm just saying. And then it goes on to say, we look at previous pro Sussex media that has now betrayed them. And my whole thing is Katie Nichols, who was involved in the phone hacking shenanigans. She is the associate editor over there. I don't see how it was ever pro Sussex. I'm just saying. But yes, they still on the same old BS. And if you don't believe me from that particular article, look at this. Kaiser posted this, and she had wrote an article about an article, and the article that she wrote the article about is from the Mail. And guess what kind of BS they're on? This says, did Meghan curtsy to Queen Elizabeth II at her 2018 wedding? Now you tell me they ain't on some BS over there. Coughing up dust, rehashing old stories. Because I remember this story. And I think this is probably the third time it's been around. Because we know that they will absolutely look back in their stack of bull and find something to regurgitate. They absolutely will. And so they reached back and found this. And then I went to this article from Kaiser, just to scan it. I'm not going to feature it in the podcast because it is a waste of time. Because who cares? And we all know that Meghan did. And even in the article, it said that Meghan did curtsy to the Queen. And it was just the reason it was even any question about it, it was because of the camera angles. And that has been established years ago. But here we are regurgitating this because they are over there coughing up dust and still on the BS. And this particular squatty under this post from Kaiser said this: 7 years ago, 7 years ago, a whole generation of cicadas will go through their hibernation cycle before this effing UK media will move the F on from this woman. Where is the lie? Where is the lie? The cicadas will come and go. They say a whole generation of cicadas. Y'all know what cicadas are. They're the big old hopper grasses. We call them hopper grasses or grasshoppers. I don't know what they call them in the UK, but they're big old insects. Yes, and every year they come to certain parts of the United States and they just cover everything. And this particular squad has said a whole generation of cicadas will gone through hibernation cycle before they absolutely let it go and move on. Where's the lie? I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm gonna put this up. And this was posted by Meredith. And Meredith is a person who's interested in how the press work. And she mostly focused in on the British press and what trash it is. And boy, she goes in there with a surgeon's knife and dissect them every time she zeroes in on one of them over there. So she posted this, and it says, and she's talking about this article. It's an article that's written by Richard Palmer in iPaper. And iPaper is also on the Daily Mail, owns it too. So it is just a part of a rag. And the name of the article is this. It says, Inside Prince William's Hidden Battle Against Media Intrusion. Prince William is more focused on finding practical meaning ways from the camera of dealing with the media. And Meredith said this about this article and said, This article is true if you ignore 99% of the facts from the last 8 or so years and pretend like lawyers don't exist. Now, I didn't read the article or anything like that. I think it's behind a paywall. I don't know. I paper, but I did find an article that was wrote about the article, but it's not from Kaiser, it's from Geo Mail. And the name of the article is Prince William Unknowingly Shares Same Goal with Harry. And that right there is a lie because he knowingly shares a goal with Harry because that is the point. Harry came away with such a victory against NGN that this is Williams' attempt to plant stories to bite off of his success and pretend like he is somehow doing the same thing quietly in the background where nobody can see. I'm just saying, it is the most ridiculous thing. But we're going to get into it. And I'm gonna put it up, and it says the name of the story. The name of the article is, like I said, Prince William unknowingly shared the same goals with Harry. And then it says a royal expert has revealed Prince William's hidden move to protect his young family days after his estranged brother, Prince Harry, won lawsuit against NGN publishers. They admitted that Harry won. Most of the time, they'll just say Harry settled when we know that that's not true. Harry won. They settled with him. But I digress. And you know that this is planted for to try to bite off of Harry because of that sentence right there. This part where it says, days after his estranged brother, Prince Harry, won lawsuit against NGN publisher. It gives it away right there. If he's doing all this, why are you mentioning Harry in it? And if it's hidden, why hadn't you let it stay hidden? But because of Harry just showing William up for being the weak person that he is, they had to come back with something and pretend like William is doing exactly what Harry's doing, but he's doing it quietly, just quietly. They need to stop. I'm just saying. Let's go on. It says Palmer said that future king is more focused on finding practical means away from the camera of dealing with the media. So what he's doing it away from the cameras. You won't be able to see it because it's non-existent. He's not doing any of it. And it goes on to say, he said behind the scenes, Prince William is waging a more subtle battle to protect his young family from press intrusion. This smells of trying to bite off of Harry and also trying to incorporate Harry and Meghan's initiative about protecting young children online and with social media. That's what it sounds like. Because y'all know that Harry and Meghan went on CBS this morning, no, CBS Sunday morning, and talked about this with the families who had lost the children because of social media. And here he is talking about he in the background. He doing it subtly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Biting off of Harry and Meghan. That's all Kate and him do. Kate and William are just, how should I put it? Copycats. That's what they are. That's what you would absolutely taunt them on the playground if we was all kids, we would be chanting copycat, 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 because that's exactly what they are. And later on, we're going to talk about what she's doing to just copying Harry and Meghan. They don't have an original thought over there at Kensington Palace. All they do is scour the newspapers and scour social media and scour television, anything that they can find about Harry and Meghan so they can copy. What are they up to? Taking notes. All those binders they walk around with, like William and Kate, it's nothing but notes about Harry and Meghan in them. I'm just saying. But let's go on. It says, the royal expert went on saying, William and Harry may not be on speaking terms, but the Prince of Wales and the Duke are both deeply suspicious of the media and share many of the same goals. Trying to align himself, trying to get some of Harry's shine, some of Harry's win, and trying to associate it with him. Yes, that's what that's about. Trying to associate himself with Harry. These people have no low. They absolutely do not. And you best believe when Harry won, especially that apology for his mother, I am willing to bet you that William took to his bed and put the covers over his head, crying and holding his stomach, because we all know that any win for Harry absolutely kills him. Tina Brown said it. She absolutely said it out loud, that she knew that once Harry won this particular case, that William would not like the accolades and the praises that Harry is getting because of it. Y'all remember I played y'all the soundbite. And this is him trying to bite off of it. I'm just saying. And it goes on to say Richard Palmer quoted Dickie Arbiter. And if you don't know who Dickie Arbiter is, he is that lying piece of crap. He is the father of Victoria. I don't have any eyelash arbiter, because both of them was on that show lying, saying and talking all kinds of nonsense about the Oprah interview. Okay, y'all, I had to change mics because my mic went out. So let me get on with the read. What I was saying was, I was talking about Dickie Arbiter. Dickie Arbiter is the same old liar who used to be the press secretary for the Queen, and we know he probably pretty much cut his teeth on lying in that position. Well, he lied about seeing the Oprah interview, and he was caught out on it with some pranksters on YouTube. So this is where this is coming from. This is the source of this article. And we all know that Dickie Arbiter is still really close to that family over there and dedicated to holding up that structure, that mammoth of nothing but cat poop, that particular monarchy. He is so dedicated to holding it up. So he would say and do anything. But they have been showed up. William has been showed up by his little brother. And basically, he's trying to bite off of his little brother's success. And that is what all of this is about. And so we're going to go on with the article of what Mr. Dickie Arbiter said. And it says Richard Palmer quoted Dickie Arbiter, a former palace press secretary, as saying about Prince William's effort to deal with problems quietly. Yes, quietly, to the point where all he does is pretend like he's doing it. Palmer said that the future king is more focused on finding practical means away from the cameras of dealing with the media. Now, this is true. And how do we know it's true? Because we saw how he was dealing with the media and it was exposed in Harry's court case. The way William was dealing with the media was he was crawling in the bed with them. He was making deals with the devil. William took £1 million from Murdoch and an apology just for himself. He entered into an invisible contract to protect himself and his wife, Kitty Cat, and he entered in a partnership of a smear campaign against his brother and his brother's wife. That's what William did. He never secured an apology for his mother or his brother. He never told his brother that he received a dime from anybody. He did not care if Harry ever got a dime for anything that had happened to him. That's what William did. And to me, if that is enough, that should be enough for Harry to never want to have anything to do with any of those folks over there ever again. But can you imagine what Harry has seen through this court case, what has been exposed, especially between the palace and the son and those emails that Harry was able to see? The emails. That's why I never worry about Harry ever returning over there. And I don't worry about Harry eating any of their food, because Harry understands the depth of deception and deceit. He understands because he saw it with his own eyes. You know, sometimes God will take you through things to learn you, to teach you. And God took Harry through that to absolutely allow the scales to fall from his eyes so he could see those folks for who they really are. So yes, this is absolutely true. He did it in secret. He did it quietly. But we also know what he did. I'm just saying. It goes on to say, he said behind the scenes, Prince William is waging a more subtle battle to protect his young family from press intrusion. We know that's a lie. He marched those kids out every opportunity he gets. Just like Meredith was saying, it's ridiculous. And we know that he's lying. He used them as props. He used them as excuses. Anytime that he needs an excuse, like when he did not want to go to the women's championships 2 years in a row, he absolutely had Charlotte there as a prop. Hiding behind her, had her up front saying that we wish you well. Yeah, but then he gets on the plane and flies all over the world to see the men play football. I'm just saying. So miss me with this one. Miss me with this one. And then also it's him biting off of Harry. We all know that this is him trying to align himself with Harry's win, and also trying to bite off of Harry and Meghan and Archwell's initiative about online dangers when it comes to children and teenagers. You know, Harry and Meghan was on Sunday, what is it, CBS Sunday Morning, talking about this with these families and trying to bite off of that. And Kate is trying to bite off of it too. We're going to talk about it a little later. They never have an original idea over there. I don't know if it's their PR team or if it's their sick obsession. But either way, it's pathetic. It really is. To constantly try to align yourself with someone else's shine only shows how dull you are, how mediocre you are. I'm just saying. And then it goes on to say the royal expert went on saying William and Harry may not be on speaking terms, but the Prince of Wales and the Duke are both deeply suspicious of the media and share many of the same goals. That's a lie. That's a lie. William hadn't done anything except crawl into bed with the media and use them against his brother. So you can miss me with that one. Harry genuinely wants to make the world a better place for his children and William's children. Because in Spare, Harry had that conversation with him. And William said, "You let me worry about my children." Y'all remember that? Harry genuinely wants to make it better for everybody's children, including his children. That's the difference. William could care less about anybody's children except his. Now, I'm not going to question his love for his children, but it's hard for me to believe that he can love past himself. I'm just saying. Then it goes on to say Richard Palmer quoted Dickie Arbiter, a former Palace press secretary. We all know who Dickie Arbiter is. He will lie in a heartbeat for that family over there. It's nothing he would not do. We have saw it on full display. Him and his daughter lied about the Oprah Winfrey interview before he even saw it and gave it a negative review. Yes, he did. This is Dickie, and he is so devoted to licking the boots of that family. He absolutely would say and do anything, and that is the reason why I think this story came straight out of Kensington Palace, trying to bite off of Harry's win because William looks really, really stupid right now. Because Harry absolutely brought down Goliath and made him bend the knee. He absolutely did. And William was exposed for not doing anything but being a selfish human being. Harry made him bend the knee, apologized to him, and apologized to his mother publicly, and then got a fat pocket of money. I bet you he had to go to his bed and take a moment to cover his head with the covers and cry it out, holding his stomach the whole time. When he got a load of Harry slaying that dragon, I love that for him. And then it goes on to say, let me reread it. It said Richard Palmer quoted Dickie Arbiter, "I'll do anything, Arbiter," a former palace secretary, as saying that Prince William's effort to deal with the problem quietly, yeah, so quietly you wouldn't even know he'd done anything. But we do, because we saw the court papers. Yes, it ain't quiet no more. But it says it said one makes a lot of noise and fuss about it, and the other one doesn't. Yes, because he's too busy taking the money and taking the invisible, the invisible contract. That's why he's so quiet. I'm just saying. And it goes on to say he also tweeted, meaning Richard Palmer tweeted, Prince Harry has grabbed all the headlines over his war with the British media, but behind the scenes, William is trying to protect his young family from intrusion in the age of clickbait and social media. And that's him biting off of Harry's initiative in Archwell. Yes, and trying to align himself with Harry's achievements and Harry's initiatives. William, like I said, I don't know if that's their PR team or it's just William and Kate want to go around and just shadow Harry and Meghan or not. But either way, it's looking really, really pathetic for all of y'all over there in Kensington Palace. And we cannot forget Buckingham Palace because Charles doesn't do anything. Him and his horse doesn't do anything but copy too. Harry and Meghan is the blueprint. You can't get it twisted because it's right there for everybody to see how hard these people do nothing but colonize all of the things that Harry and Meghan does. I'm just saying. And then it says the expert's claim came days after Harry settled his long-running lawsuit with NGN tabloid publisher. It came right after that. Yes, because we all know that William was out here looking real stupid. And so what did he do? He wanted to plan a story to align himself with Harry's success, but still say that they have a rift, but they share the same ideas and the same goals. Yeah, yeah. I don't think so though. Because Harry would have never did him like that. The way he did Harry, Harry would have never, ever did William like that. But like I said, sometimes God takes you through things to reveal things to you. And Harry had to go through that to really see his brother for what he really is, and his father as well. God revealed those people to him, and he best take heed, because at the end of the day, it's all about them. That's all they think about, and they don't care anything about Harry. I would say one of the most important things that has happened, that the reason I think Harry has really, really had the scales to fall from his eyes, was when he got a load of those emails between the palace and the Sun tabloid. There's no telling what was in there. And I bet you Harry, you could not. It's no way Harry would ever go back over there. He has absolutely found out who those people are. And we all know what Maya Angelou says. She said, when people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them, Harry. Believe them. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty pretty much just reposted that tweet by Richard Palmer, saying that Harry had grabbed all the headlines over the war with the British media and blah, 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 blah. And how William is doing what Harry is doing, but quietly. And this particular squatter reposted that and said this. One, so it's okay for William to protect his kids, but not Harry and Meghan. Well, it's a lie. Because this all was about Harry trying to protect his family. That's why he left Great Britain. It's because it was about protecting his family and his mental health. I'm just saying, but it's all right for William to say he's protecting his family, which we know he's not. But we all know that he's performative. I would say he's performatively protecting his family. That is fine with them. But Harry cannot protect his family, who they know without a shadow of a doubt needs protecting. Because we have saw the extreme hatred and the extreme bullying online that him and his family received, even the children. So we know they need protecting, but yet and still they act like they don't understand that Harry wants to protect his family. And then number two is, how is he protecting them when he constantly drags them along for events the kids look like they don't want to attend, to the point where the youngest acts up? Where is the lie? Now, now I'm gonna say this. Lewis has been acting better. It's been a while since he acted up on an engagement. He seems like he's maturing quite a bit. But my point, they look like Stepford children. They look very dead behind the eyes when they are on these engagements. And they have been dragging these kids out ever since Harry and Meghan left, trying to create some kind of interest in them and using the children. And we all talked about how William uses the kids for props all the time. when he don't want to go somewhere, like the women's championship, he drags out Charlotte. We already talked about that. And then he'll have George at a match, a football match. And y'all remember when he had George out there at Wilmington, and it was so hot, and had that poor little boy in a coat, a tie, and everything. And George was so hot. He was just really, really hot. And then the next day, or the next, I think for the women's finals, they brought Charlotte and they made her dress, well, they had her dressed appropriately for the weather. So she wouldn't be out there passing out. George almost passed out in that coat and tie and shirt and all of that. Poor little boy. And they look like wonderful kids. They really, really do. But we all know growing up in the system has a way of changing. I mean, just absolutely beating that good out of you. Because look at William. Was it ever in him? I don't know. But they didn't get it out of Harry. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this is Hello Magazine's cover story, cover for this month. I think it's this month. And this particular squatty reposted it because it is I mean, Carol Middleton made the cover. And so evidently she's turning 70. And this is a nice picture. It is photoshopped to the gods, though, but I am not mad with her. If I was turning 70, I would have my picture photoshopped to the gods as well. But it says that she's Kate's Rock, and the inside the life of the other royal monarch, as Carol Middleton celebrates turning 70. And is Carol Middleton, did I miss something? Is she a royal monarch or what? Maybe they're talking about Kate. I guess so. But they're saying that she's Kate's rock. I tell you one thing she is. She is Kate's partner in crime, because those two plotted together and got that dumb William landed. They landed him. They absolutely did. Because we all know it was a ploy from the beginning. These two treacherous women decided that they were going to get the future king of England, and did exactly that. But the rub was that they didn't plan any farther than that, and they have been exposed. Like this particular squatty said this: as if, hasn't she failed at most things, including giving her daughter any kind of work ethic for the real world? Well, that she gave her daughter instructions, but it wasn't for work. It was for to find a man so she didn't have to work. And she did that. She felt like her job was done. Kate landed the future king of the United Kingdom, but what they landed was a very angry, obsessed, very self-centered, self-focused individual. And it's very difficult to have a happy marriage with someone like that. You get the big hat, but you don't get much else other than that. And so, also too, the rub was that Megan came on the scene, and then they started expecting more of Kitty Cat, and then they realized it wasn't anything left. Carol helped her to figure out how to land William, but she didn't she didn't absolutely make sure that Kate was accomplished. It was all about landing him. That's why they called her Waity Katie, because she didn't do anything but wait around. She didn't try to have a career. She didn't try to, do anything. No kind of accolades whatsoever. To this day, Kate doesn't have any accolades. Everything that is associated with her has been given to her by that family. And then Carol's that whole persona of the party pieces just collapsed around that family. Who knows how they're getting their money now? But I believe that was a front Now, to affront to what, I have no idea, but nothing collapsed like that that was real, because it just absolutely just fell apart and left everybody in the lurch, all their creditors in the lurch. I mean, it was a mess to the point where the creditors was going around putting on trees, these flyers on trees about pay us our money. They were like Rihanna, better have my money. Yeah, I remember that song by Rihanna. Yes, that's what they were saying on these flyers that they were hammering on trees around Buckleberry. And they said that James Middleton went around tearing them down. But it was definitely as an embarrassment. And it was written up. I think it was in the Daily Fair. Yes, I bet you they don't scrub the internet of that particular that particular articles, but it happened. And so, yes, I think they're a bunch of family of frauds. I really do. But she achieved her goal now. She got both her daughters married off as what they consider well, because I think Pippa is married to a man who is part of a billionaire family. I don't know if he's a billionaire, but his family, he comes from a billionaire family. And Pippa is pretty accomplished. She went to college now. She is an expert in her early childhood. I think she got a PhD or something like that in that. But Kate don't know nothing. She can't tie two sentences together. But Carol did what she set out to do. She did, you know. But she didn't realize that the qualifications was gonna get changed once Rachel Meghan Markle showed up. And now Kate looks like a mediocre person that she is. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm gonna put this up real quick, and this is a rewind of something that I talked about last podcast, and it's that Radio News Hub who posted about Kate's new initiative about, what is it, social and emotional skills and alleviating human costs of the world, sometimes filled with mistrust and misunderstanding, and that kind of stuff, pretty much biting off of Harry and Meghan's initiative, but I digress. And so I was telling y'all how they absolutely drug Kate in these comments. They did. And so I went back. I had to circle back and see what else was being said in the comments. So I had to share this one comment with y'all that this person put under this post. It says, she's copying Harry and Meghan. Where is the lie? I want to know. I'm looking for it. And it goes on to say she's copying Harry and Meghan's awareness campaign on effects of internet and social media misinformation on children's mental health. That's exactly what she's doing. Just like William trying to piggyback on Harry's win and bite off of this too. They don't have an original idea over there, the KP or Buckingham Palace. They're colonizers by nature. This is who these people are. It's ridiculous. And it goes on to say she never had an authentic idea of her own. Can't argue with that. It says first it was Meghan made Kate cry. Then Meghan's wardrobe. She was biting off of that. I'm telling you, she was copying Meghan so hard that if she was not the Princess of Wales, Meghan could have went to court and got a restraining order against her. It was just that bad. It was white single female level bad. The way Kate copied Meghan. I mean, hairstyle, jewelry, you name it, and still do. Having failed on fashion, exactly, and trying to get that started, talking about she want to be on the on the cover of Vogue, talking about she's some fashion icon. When? Where? What? Wore coat dresses the whole time until Megan showed up, and then absolutely colonized Megan's style. Where is the fashion icon? I want to know. And then it goes on to say, it is Megan's idea. Where is the lie? Where is the lie? Continued on with that. And then I'm going to put this one up. And it says, I will never stop repeating that Kate Middleton sent one of her lackeys, the founder of Sane Charity, to attack Megan and mock her mental health. That's the woman who now trying to pass as an ambassador of mental health. Kate and her posse are a bunch of bullies. Well, it's a lie, and I remember this lady. And this particular squatty posted the receipt, as you can see. And this is what this woman said, who is a founder of a mental health facility, said this: I don't think playing the victim helps. Founder of mental health charity Sane said Meghan Markle should find a way of living with whatever disability or disadvantage you have after Duchess told of her unaliving thoughts. Now, this is a founder of a mental health facility saying this. I mean, absolutely carrying the water for that family over there. If she was a licensed clinician or any kind of mental health professional, she would absolutely be fired. She would have to step down. Her license would be pulled to call someone who is professing to have unaliving thoughts, just pretty much telling them to suck it up. Mm, But it always amazed me how that family can get professional people to say the most craziest things against their profession. And this woman did that. I remember this. All right, I'm going to put this up. And this is squatties continuing to drag Kate. Still, I'm telling you, squatties have been dragging Kate for 3 days. They seem like they're not bored with it. They seem like they're still up for it. And this is a perfect example of that. They reposted Roy Nicka again. You know, Roy Nicka posted this, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, saying that Kate wanted people to focus on her work and not her clothes. And she doesn't have any work, and her clothes is Megan's clothes. So we don't know what she's talking about. But this particular squatty said this: as we knew, the motive of Kate Macbeth's great cancer hoax was a brand reset, to move away from the racist mean girl image, where it's a lie. We have been saying this from the beginning on this here podcast, that this was all to wash away the stench of racism, because she's going to become the queen of the United Kingdom. She cannot be known to be a racist, but those racist words came out of her mouth, and we know she is. And we will never, ever forget it. We all knew that this cancer hoax was about that. And if we didn't know it was hoax, if we didn't know it was a hoax, we know it now, because when she went to that cancer hospital and was in there talking all kinds of crazy things to those real patients, she showed herself. She played herself. And we all knew right then and there that pretty much Stevie Wonder could see that Kate never had no cancer. because she didn't know anything about any of it. I'm just saying, talking about drinking plenty wine. I mean, drinking plenty wine, drinking plenty water, and getting out in the sun. Just come on now. And didn't know what the hat was, the cold hat. Said no, sitting up there with a full head of hair talking about she didn't do the cold hat. Didn't know what it was. She showed herself. And then it goes on to say, after a failed 2022 attempt to rebrand herself as having half a brain, she's having another go and hoping that this time her cancer con will do the trick. Where it's a lie, because we all remember that rebrand had her walking around in all these power suits and a binder in her hand, sitting at the end of a table with all these real professional people who knew what they were talking about, who this is their life work, and then Kate is sitting at the head of the table. It was a joke. I'm telling you, it was hilarious. And she could not tie three sentences together. And the way we know that is they never allowed any audio in any of those meetings, because we all know what happened there. Kate didn't know nothing, and she's notorious for not being prepared. So I bet she was in there asking all kinds of stupid questions. They didn't want us to hear that. But yes, that was the rebrand. All the power suits, all having a binder in her hand, having PowerPoint presentations. Y'all remember that? It was hilarious. So now here we are, rebranded again. I'm telling you, I enjoy these rebrands. Keep it up, Kate, because it's hopeless. I'm telling you, it's hopeless, because that stench will never, ever go away. I'm just saying. But I love the rebrands because they funny. All right, I'm going to put this up, and it says, and if Kate is such a champion for supporting mental health, why is she okay with her supporters harassing and bullying a 14-year-old because she only had good things to say about Megan? Because that's who Kate really is, a mean girl. And what they're talking about is this right here. And this was in Marie Claire, and it is a interview with the 14-year-old girl whose charity Megan has helped during the fires in California. And as you can see at the bottom, it says Marie Claire. The charity's 14-year-old founder, Avery Colbert, tells Marie Claire it was really what it was really like working with Prince Harry and Meghan's Archwell Foundation. And this particular squatty said this: wow, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle via their Archwell Foundation just helped Aldina's girls secure a new 12,000 square foot permanent space in Pasadena. That's what Harry and Meghan does. They are not performative. They actually see a need and try to get in there and help. Yes, has helped them secure a 12,000 square foot permanent space. And it says the building will give kids who have lost their school and activities a safe place to gather, take online classes, dance, and yoga. That's what Harry and Meghan does. When you see them show up, it is going to be something that's going to come out of it. They are evidence-based people. They're not performative. They don't go in there and look for the money shot. They always projecting that on Harry and Meghan, when in actuality, that's what those people do across the pond. And I went and found the article. I'm going to put it up. And this is the name of the article. It says, exclusive Meghan Markle's behind the scene help made the biggest difference for Aldina's Girls Fire Relief. And Megan is not the only one supporting it. I saw where Kerry Washington said, for her birthday, donations to go to Aldina's Girls Fire Relief. So she's supporting it too. And it says the charity's 14-year-old founder, Ava Colbert, tells Marie Claire what it was really like working with Prince Harry and Meghan's Archwell Foundation. And she didn't have nothing but good things to say about Harry and Meghan. And she says she started this because she felt guilty that her house didn't burn, but her school did. And a lot of her friends' houses did. And so she decided to start this. And it just grew and grew and grew. And look what it has grown into. And Harry and Meghan are supporting it. And a lot of other people are supporting it as well. I love it. I love it. And these trolls have gone in and started to attack her. Yes, these are these so-called fans of Kate's. You would never, ever see squatties do anything like that. Ever. And so much good stuff. I'm going to put a picture up of her, the girls. Look how much they got. They took in all this stuff. And they said Megan brought her stuff from her own closet over there. Yes, she did. She said Megan is the sweetest, kindest, incredibly kind, she said. Said Megan is so incredibly kind. And they want to believe something different. And then they get mad when other people say that no, that's not true. These trolls, they are something. I'm telling you. All right, I'm going to put this up. Just some little knick-knack things I want to talk about real quick. Piers Morgan got booed. Yes, he did. I'm going to put it up. He got booed at the airport. They started recognizing him at the airport and they booed him. And I'm telling you, you remember how he walked off the set of Good Morning Britain? That's the way he was walking in that airport. People was booing him. They don't like him. It said Piers Morgan was booed at the airport. He tells everybody that he's loved in the streets, but that's not true. It's not. They booed him, and I saw the video. It's boo, boo. And now he always worried about if Harry and Meghan, talking about Harry, they won't come over here because they scared they'll get booed. Well, you live over there and they boo you. I love that for them. And then it said after being booed at the airport, and they showed the little video of him leaving in Good Morning Britain after that weatherman had put it on him. I think his name is Alex something, but he put it on him. And he got up and ran like a scalded dog. And that's the way he was doing in the airport. So I wanted to share that. All right, I'm going to put this up. And this is our picture of the day, our comments. Y'all put a caption to it. This particular squatty said this about it. It said, according to an African body language expert, this affection is being forced and not natural. The expert went on to say that it was more like lights, camera, action. Y'all tell me, what kind of caption would y'all put to this picture right here? Because I'm loving it. I am. All right, y'all. Bye.